towards the scholars are all the same. We need to take note of this because each of us are presented with the same kinds of opportunities. We just do not have the resources to actually go or to actually do that. For example, we all have the capability to join, let's say, the physics Olympiad, but some of us don't have the financial capacity to travel to, let's say, Malaysia and to support ourselves there. That is another thing we should take into consideration.
So, although I guess indeed, we can ideally view it as equal opportunities. However, this view may differ among other students. Like, for example, me, I have personally observed social capital as a factor. You know, some students may be closer to the unit heads and maybe more closer to getting those opportunities of going to contests and Olympiads. So see here we can see the difference. How about the others? Have you seen some?
You know, I really find our study interesting because even our observations alone is like one of the starting point as to how could we could progress our research, and maybe we could also conclude that there may be also other students who experience our experiences with regards to joining extracurricular activities. So I guess I could suggest that maybe if you would be interacting with other students, I would suggest doing interviews and survey questionnaires as to how we can delve more into observations on other students as to how they experience extracurricular activities.
Okay, so speaking of interviews and questionnaires, how are we planning to gather data for this study, and is this method appropriate? Given that we've already started, what do we think that the method we use is appropriate?
So we are studying, we are using exploratory sequential design, starting with qualitative interviews and followed by a quantitative survey. So the interviews allowed us to explore students and explore students' lived experiences and identify patterns such as the social, economic, and cultural capital. So the findings then inform the construction of the survey questionnaire to measure how widespread these patterns are among grade 8 and grade 12 grade 8 to grade 12 students.
Another thing we need to consider is when they answer our survey, there could be existing biases where they could just answer the survey and then be done with it without actually putting much thought or truth behind their answers. So I was thinking, or as a group, this is a question we have faced. How are we going to address this concern?
Yes, yeah. How are we gonna? How can we ensure honesty in our study?
We can do this because we ensure anonymity, confidentiality in our respondents, and this gives the students more support and they're more eager to answer, as this won't affect their academic standing or their personal or their social circles because of how they view a certain thing.
Yes, it adds onto that security. They're more secure. They feel that they could possibly feel more confident in answering because they will be sure that their answers will be spread around to the public and it won't be a ground for possible social repercussions. Yes. Speaking of repercussions and challenges and problems, what major or maybe major or minor problems have we encountered in data gathering so far?
I mean, based on what we have progressed as of now, we have done interviews and survey questionnaires, but the one common major problem we face is the time constraint, since not only us students are, are busy finishing our studies, but also even the lower year students who we need in our surveys and interviews are also busy doing other activities such as FAs, CAs, outbound tests, etc.
Okay. Now, so speaking of, since time constraint is such a problem, do you guys think that we should narrow down our scope?
Okay. I feel like the scope we have right now is justifiable with what we want to achieve in the study, as it is already narrowed down from our initial plan, which was to include all grade levels. But since we have consulted that grade 7 is not really applicable for the study, as they don't have much exposure in extracurricular activities as the grade 8s, the grade 12s, I feel like that this range of respondents, including also the interviews, which is full scholars and partial trade, we already have encapsulated our study good, wisely and very good, that we are towards our goal in the purpose of our study.
Does anyone else have any different take on this?
Okay, so are we okay now?
Okay, it seems like we're facing a few difficulties.
Yeah.
So going back to the question, I would repeat. Does anyone else have different opinions on what just Miss Julian has said?
So, in terms of what our leader has mentioned, in not narrowing down our scope, how about considering the variety of experiences, or let's say the circumstances between students, especially on the differences in financial and social capital. So, how about including or not narrowing our scope into a more wider scope. Let's say we should also be including students or scholars from other scholarship categorizations, not only the partial 3 or the full scholar, but also the let's say partial 2 students. And what if we also narrow our scope down into non-participants? Let's say, should I explain? Non-participants who are not actively participating in contests or programs for a much wider scale of responses or experiences.
Now, Mr. Ichiro has presented a different opinion. What is everyone else's take on this?
Well, I mean, since that is a good suggestion, expanding the scope of our study, since it could provide more good qualities or patterns into our study as to why students experience this and that. But due to our time constraints, for me, I think I'm more towards our Julian's suggestion, since it's better to not limit the scope, but rather at least push through the goal that we could finish at the end of the quarter.
Yeah. However, Ichiro's idea is good. So we could just put it in the recommendations later.
Yes, indeed, although it could add rigor or more quality in our data, with the current schedule or implementation period, we could just add on to the recommendation as Ms. Romano said. Okay, so does anyone else have a say?
I mean, by some miracle, we could at least finish finish the study earlier, I mean, it is a good idea that we could at least provide the suggestion of teachers to the answers.
Okay, so any other insights?
I think it's
Are we good? Yes, okay. So moving on to the next question. Do you think that the feasibility given our timeline, resources, and number of respondents, do you think our research is currently feasible?
If we put it on a timetable, which we already have, it is third quarter, or at least the end of third quarter, which is the quarter where we're supposed to be data collecting, data gathering, we're analyzing the data. And fourth quarter is supposed to be for defense and for the fake paper. But if we put our actual progress in that timetable, we are only halfway towards data collection. We haven't started in the quantitative data analysis, and we're nowhere near towards finishing our paper. But the question is it feasible? Yes, it is feasible. It just takes a lot of time that we don't have and time that we need to work on. So, moreover, this is a question of our work ethics and our work habits on how we can work together to meet the deadline we set for ourselves in the first place. The study itself is feasible. It's a good study, but we need to work more so that we can actually reach the purpose that we are trying to do.
So, as a group, how should we improve our work habits, work ethics, or what should we do in order to achieve this goal? Does anyone have
Okay,
suggestions?
so I believe that we should, as individuals, take in much more initiative to finish our assigned tasks. Maybe we could divide certain grade levels or certain. We're assigning our group members into certain grade levels so that we are more distributive and get in our fingers the different grade levels, especially since there are a lot of students that we have to take into account. So now, given this, our current dilemma is in this third quarter timeline. Our current dilemma is actual data gathering. How about in the following quarter? Do we think that our time is enough to analyze the data?
I think so. Since this quarter we are halfway to the gathering process, especially on the survey. And I think for the interview we're almost done with the coding and transcripts at the final grade level. So I think it's feasible. We have ample time for the completion of data analysis and revision of the paper.
And I also think we could work on this since this research alone isn't done by a single person, and we are also a team. So yeah, we could do teamworks and maybe initiate more progress. If the one person couldn't do it, then we could collaborate.
It is indeed as a group. Now we're covering our team's weaknesses. What about our manuscript or our methodologies? Do you guys think that we have certain weaknesses or discrepancies that we could cover?
The thing is with our study is our sample or where we're getting responses from is within the context of PSI, which as we know is an institution that is grounded upon academic endeavors or like push through with academical efforts and co-curricular efforts, and as a scholar, like a whole-rounded scholar both in academics and co-curricular, extracurricular. The thing with our study is we do not reflect the actual prospects that we get here to a normal public school or a debt public school, as already the scholars themselves have a higher, have good academic standards compared to public schools. Put this lightly. Thus, we are more suitable to join extracurricular activities units that are nationwide or division or in the province. Thus, the how do I put this? The frequency of how students join is much more different. Thus, our data cannot be reflected to